Yo, guys, what's up? And welcome to the Final Whistle podcast. This is episode number 6. Today, we are joined by myself, Musa, and Wakas. And like we promised, we're doing another tier list. This time, English midfielders. This may not be as controversial as the last one, but I'm sure we're going to make some pretty bold decisions.
Thank you, Yaya, for the introduction. So first up, we have Eric Dyer, who's playing for Tottenham Hotspur currently, and I personally think that he's an average player. He does the job, but he's definitely downgraded since his hype at the last Euros as an emerging player. But he's definitely not a starter for Spurs right now, so I don't think he'll start for England anytime soon. What do you think, Wakas? Where does he deserve to be in this tier list?
Yeah, right, 100%. I agree with you, Musa. Before you even started speaking, my mind was absolutely set on the answer, which is absolutely average. I remember him in the Euros where he scored that free kick, and that was probably the biggest highlight of his that I remember from his career, even with England or while playing with Tottenham Hotspur. I don't really have anything else to say about him. He's just been an average all-around player. I haven't even seen him starting for Tottenham in their first team for quite a while now. So yeah, I 100% agree with you, man. He's an average player.
Although Dyer did sign a new contract for Spurs not too long ago, I think a month ago, I don't know. I don't see him being such a class player as some may have thought he would be a few years ago. And yeah, he hasn't been good at Spurs over the last few years. So I'm going to agree with you guys. I think he is average.
So moving on, we have Jack Wilshere, who's a surprise midfielder in this list, but we had to add someone in the shit tier, so might as well add Jack Wilshere there. In my opinion, he's downgraded since his hype at Arsenal about 7 to 8 years ago. He was compared to Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard, and he was considered to be the heir to their throne. So I think that he's definitely not lived up to the hype, and his career seems done to me, and he probably won't play international football again. What do you think, Wakas? Where does he deserve to be in this tier list?
Oh man, 100%. I started laughing when you said his name. I feel like he's so shit, man. His whole career has been riddled with injuries. I don't even remember the last time I saw that guy play. Like, I just have nothing more to say about him. He's absolutely shit. We don't talk about shit players, man. Please.
He had such big potential at his days in Arsenal. I personally liked him a lot too. But yeah, like Waqas said, injuries played a very sad role in his career. And he just couldn't get things going at West Ham, and he may be leaving very soon. I personally actually had him on average, but now I come to think of it, we need a player in the shit tier, so might as well put Jack Wilshere.
So next up, we have Harry Winks from Spurs, and I think he's an average player. He's up there with Eric Dyer because he hasn't really been at the top yet, and he doesn't show signs of becoming a starter, to be honest. And I don't know how he's being linked to a move to Manchester City this summer, but apparently Pep wants him. I don't know why, but he's definitely an average player. I don't see him being a decent player anytime soon, and I don't think he'll make it to the Euros with England. What do you think, guys?
I mean, he's an all right player, and it can be seen as apparently Guardiola is after him this summer. Personally, I do prefer him over Dyer. And I don't think he should be on the same tier as Dyer, in my opinion. I mean, he's an all right link-up player, and he can protect his back four. So I would rather put him at the bottom of decent than have him on the same tier as Eric Dyer.
All right, so we can put him in decent for now, but if there are players like maybe Mason Mount or maybe Grealish in the decent tier, then maybe we have to reconsider who we put in that tier. So for now, I'm putting him in decent.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then next
Absolutely.
up, we
Yeah.
have James Milner from Liverpool, one of the leaders in Liverpool's title-winning squad and a great backup and a versatile player who can play both as a fullback and a central midfielder. And of course, a Premier League winner with two different clubs now. So I think he's had his success. He's had a great career. However, right now he's an average player. I don't think he's decent at the moment, but his career has definitely been decent. So if we judge him on the whole career, I think he's a decent player. But right now he's average because he hasn't been starting games for Liverpool recently. What do you think, guys?
So, guys, James Milner is a very interesting choice. He's a very interesting guy. Me being a Man United fan, obviously, might have a biased opinion, but you never know, man. Judging by his career, he has had a nice career. He's been with a lot of clubs. Like Musa said, he's won the Premier League with a couple of clubs as well. With Liverpool obviously being the most recent one, and he's also won a Champions League. But as a midfielder, there are way, 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 way better options. That anyone can choose. I mean, who would you guys rather go with? Would you guys rather go for like a very well-known midfielder, just like Pogba, or would you rather go for James Milner in your team? But if you're judging on from a leader standpoint, I feel like he's pretty good. From Yeah, but again, this is not about like judging only by their leader. This is generally their whole career. So when it comes to like judging how good of a midfielder he is, I don't think he's one of the best, obviously, in the Premier League. But he's just there. I guess he's just average. He's not really decent anyway. I mean, does he even really start for Liverpool anymore? I'm not sure. So yeah, my pick would be average.
Just to add something,
Yeah,
sorry to cut you off. Yeah, I think that he's a really hardworking player. I think if you want a consistent player in your team, he's the guy you want. I don't think comparing him to Pogba is the right thing because I don't think Pogba is more consistent than James Milner, and he actually holds the record for the most assists in a season by an individual. So I think in the Champions League. So that's pretty impressive. So I don't think he deserves to be below decent. What do you think, Yaya?
Yeah, that is interesting. I'm sorry, I'm cutting Yaya off again. Like, I apologize, but like this is the thing, right? Recently his form has declined a lot. I mean, he's getting old. So like I said again, as a midfielder, yeah, that's fine. But judging by his leadership skills, he's top class. I'd say he's one of the best in the world when it comes to judging by leadership skills. But like a midfielder, his form has declined, whether you guys like it or not. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion, and I feel like that can be taken into consideration about how it is. But yeah, what do you think, man?
yeah. I personally think he had a slow start at Liverpool, but when things got going, it was nothing less than great. And he even converted himself into fullback at one point. And like Musa said, even if he isn't the best midfielder in the world, his achievements, they should still hold him a tier up. And he would have been average, but his achievements, they're world class. So I'm gonna put him in decent.
Fair enough, boys. Fair enough. Fine.
I mean, we already have a very controversial one here because we're putting James Milner in the same tier as Harry Winks. So, I mean, the
Yeah,
guy,
man. Yeah, guys, I'm not sure I agree with Harry Winks being in decent. I barely have seen that guy play,
I
honestly.
mean, James
And
Milner,
he hasn't have had that long of a career.
James Milner has won two Premier League
Yeah,
titles with two different clubs, and he's also won the Champions League. I mean, and
yeah.
then there's Harry Winks.
Yeah, but we can always sort out the list at the end. We can always like move things around at the end. So we'll just like, what do you guys say? I personally vote for him to be demoted into average Harry Winks, and I can agree with fine. I can agree with James Milner going into decent. I'm fine with that.
You're right. I guess then if two people are down with Harry Winks going down a tier, then I guess I'm fine with it as well.
All right, so next up we have Dele Alli from Spurs again, the third Spurs midfielder here.
Hmm.
So
This is interesting. Now.
I personally think that he was really, really hyped when he was a teenager. And I think he's been around for some time, but he's still only 24. So I feel like he's got a spark back under Jose Mourinho when he's come at Spurs. So I think he's right now an average player, but I feel like he has the potential to be a starter for England.
Yeah, I 100% absolutely agree. I remember watching him play in his first or second season. Maybe he scored that absolute wonder goal against Crystal Palace. You guys know which one I'm talking about, where he flicked the ball over his head and absolutely pushed it into the bottom corner. Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. In his first season, he was pretty good, and then he had this major decline in quality. I have no idea what happened. I have absolutely no clue what was happening for him that season. But even last season, he got a bit of a spark back. He even scored against the fixture Tottenham had with Manchester United, and there was absolutely even the commentators. I remember I don't remember who they were, but I think it was Martin Tyler who was saying that I feel like he's got his spark back. You know, he was absolutely showing himself. He was a prominent figure on the field, but when it comes to right now, I feel like he is average, but he absolutely has the potential to become a very, very, very decent midfielder.
I mean, in my opinion, he's a class player and he has established a good name for himself. But I wouldn't ever call him world class right now because you just can't do that with the inconsistencies he's been having over the last couple of seasons. In my opinion, if he gets things going and if he becomes consistent under Mourinho, I mean, apparently he was being praised by his performance in some preseason game. Hopefully, he can do that in the actual season as well. Then he would be great. But for now, I'm actually going to put him in decent because obviously he has a big name to himself, and I think that he doesn't deserve to be an average just yet.
All right, so
I can agree with that.
next up
I can
we
agree with that.
have Ross Barkley from Chelsea. So, given his age, this should be his career's prime, but he's been a very average player since his transfer from Everton to Chelsea. And I personally don't see him as a candidate for England at the next Euros. So I think he's average, maybe. In my opinion, he's average, but let's see what you guys have to say about Ross Barkley.
Yeah, you know, when it comes to Ross Barkley, I remember seeing him play in Everton, but then he transferred to Chelsea, and after that, his career has been on an absolute downfall. I don't know, man. I just like haven't seen that guy enough. He does start for Chelsea, he does, but he doesn't have an impact on his game. And considering now the new signings Chelsea have had, I don't think he is going to start for them anymore. He's just been very average. He had a bit of a spark when he was in Everton. I remember, I don't know which team it was or who they were, which game it was, but he scored this absolutely amazing curler outside the 30-yard box. I remember that. I feel like you guys will know it as well. I'm not sure, but it was absolutely amazing. That really showed me his talent, and he was capable of dribbling it past a couple of defenders and absolutely smashing it into the bottom corner. And yeah, but since recently, I mean, even Chelsea has been on a very average form generally. Even like, I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but um, I'm not sure where I'd put him. I guess in my opinion, I think this is an easy average for me. Easy average. What do you guys say?
Yeah, he was a great player at Everton, and I'm not going to lie, it took him a while for him to get things going at Chelsea. And I think since the restart, he's been a decent player since the lockdown restart. But as a whole, yeah, he hasn't been the best midfielder ever. I don't see him being a great midfielder. And yeah, like Musa said, I don't see him establishing himself into the England starting 11 midfield. So yeah, he's average for me as well.
Okay, so next up we have one of my favorite defensive midfielders in the world right now, and that's
Guys,
Declan Rice. And he's actually one of the two defensive midfielders in this list, the other being Eric Dyer, of course. And if there's room for a CDM in Gareth Southgate's formation, I think this guy will start for sure. He's been West Ham's best player this season and has proved to be a great leader. And I think that he's definitely a decent player right now. I think he has the potential to be world class, but it also depends.
Declan Rice, man, he is absolutely decent. He's had an absolutely banger of a season. I remember watching him, and he is such an absolute maestro. Midfield maestro. But obviously, by no means am I calling him like the greatest centre mid in the English Prem. He's pretty good. He's had a decent season, and he scored a couple of goals with goals as well. And yeah, I feel like that's enough to say about him. I don't really follow him that much. I've seen a couple of highlights of his, and he's been doing well, and I like that from him. He's definitely, I feel like he's definitely a starter at the Euros this year or the next. And yeah, he's a pretty decent midfielder. I feel like you guys would agree with me as well on this.
Yeah, he's being considered the West Ham Hammer of the Year because of his great performance throughout last season. And I think Chelsea are after him as well, and it's clear to see why. Also, the fact that he chose England over Ireland, I'm pretty sure he's going to get a place in the England squad because there's no point um, ditching Ireland if you're not even going to get in the England squad. So he's working hard to get a place and solidify himself into the England squad. And yeah, I think he's a class player, and I think he has potential to be world class.
So do we add him in potential to be world class, or do we add him in decent?
I don't know, man. I'm not sure about this one.
I,
I don't feel like he has the potential for world class feels a little too big, for a guy like Declan Rice who's just starting out at West Ham. I don't know. What do you guys say?
This is a pretty sticky situation. Um,
I mean, the top two tiers are,
it's
are are
weird.
empty right now. So if you know what I mean, we can
Yeah,
put him in right now, but maybe we can reconsider it at the end.
Yeah, I agree
yeah.
with
Let's
that.
go for that. Let's go for that.
So next up we have Chamberlain from Liverpool, and I personally think that his decision of joining Liverpool from Arsenal proved to be great, as he's now winning trophies finally, and I think that he still needs to up his game to be a starter for both Liverpool and England. And considering that he doesn't start games for Liverpool right now, I think it'll be hard for him to uh, make his way up in the English squad as well. So I think I personally won't pick him in the squad for the Euros if I was a coach. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, man, I agree. I don't feel like Chamberlain can be added to the squad. There are way, 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 way better players than him. Just like Declan Rice and Mason Mount. Why would you choose Chamberlain over them? He was barely starting in the Liverpool side as well. I mean, yeah, he did start in some Champions League fixtures, and yeah, he scored a couple of good goals. But I feel like that's just like his form at the moment. Yeah, I don't feel like he has the class or the potential to become like a world class player. I feel like he's just average. I mean, obviously there is some biasness as well, Man United fan. But yeah, what do you guys think? I'm not sure. I guess I would put him in average to decent, somewhere in the middle. I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
I mean, yeah, like Musa said, the fact that he left Arsenal and joined Liverpool probably was the best decision he ever made in his whole life. He literally got free trophies. He was injured the whole season, and he was just there collecting the trophies and collecting the medals. And yeah, I don't see him being in the England starting 11. However, I do see him as a good player, and I would say let's put him at the very bottom of decent. Like, just keep him away from the higher decent players. Just put him on the very right side. And yeah, like we said, we can reconsider the whole tier at the end.
Yeah, I can agree with that option.
All right, so we have Jack Grealish next, who's in my opinion an amazing player, and for me he's definitely world class right now, given his hype, and I feel like he starts for almost every Premier League side, uh, except Man City, of course, and maybe Liverpool. And he has been remarkable this season with 18 goals and assists for Aston Villa. He's definitely been carrying them on his shoulders, and for me, he starts for England any day. So, what do you guys think about him?
Man, I agree with you, man. His season at Aston Villa has been absolutely amazing. Even Manchester United have wanted to sign him. That shows just how good he's been. There's no denying that fact. But I'm gonna have to disagree with you on one thing, man. I don't think he's world class. I feel like going world class for him is kind of crazy. I do think he has potentially world class. I feel like 100% I can agree with the fact that if people say that he can be potentially world class. But I'm not really sure if he can be world class at the moment. Maybe if he was in a bigger team, maybe if he would have had better players around him, maybe he would have had more goal scoring opportunities and more assists, which I guess is something that you can take into account. But right now at the moment, I'm not sure if he can be absolutely world class for me. So I would like to put him in potentially world class.
The Aston Villa captain was their best player this season, and he's hence being given the Player of the Year award. I don't think anyone else deserved it except him. And there's a reason why clubs like United are after him. But his future still remains uncertain because Villa managed to stay up. And yeah, I think just because of the fact this is his first season in the Premier League, although he was great in the Championship last year, I wouldn't put him in world class just yet. I would put him in potential to be world class as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So next up we have Saka from Arsenal, who's, in my opinion, I think he's a pretty decent player, uh, a really good playmaker after what he's shown the world this season, and I think he's stepped up to the occasion often and has been Arsenal's assist leader with 11 assists this season at the age of only 18. So a year from now, we might be putting him in world class. Who knows? Right now, I think he's definitely a decent player.
Yeah, I 100% agree as well. I feel like that goal he scored, I think he was nominated as well for goal of the season. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I'm not really that sure, but I feel like I saw him somewhere. So, which means, and yeah, just like you said, 11 assists, leading. Especially if you're going against someone like Nicolas Pepe, who Arsenal signed. If you have more assists than him and he costs 80 million to get, you're a good one. I don't really have much information about him. I don't really watch Arsenal's games, obviously, but yeah, I agree with you. Just on stat based, that he's a decent player. Yeah,
Yeah, he also had his days as a winger, and he's managed to bang in a great amount of goals and assists. And I think his main issue is probably lack of strength, just because of his age. He needs to bulk up a bit, and then he can be a proper player. And yeah, I guess let's put him in decent. I mean, I think if he plays like this and even better by the end of next season, he'll probably be a tier up. But for now, he's indecent.
yes, I agree.
Okay, so next up we have Mason Mount from Chelsea. And I personally like him a lot. I think he has the potential to be one of the best at his position, and he has been decent in his first full season at Chelsea with 14 goals and assists. So he's definitely decent for me, at least decent. But I think in the future he has the potential to be world class as well. So given that he has only been decent for about one season at the top, I think that maybe we have to put him in decent for now. But I think if if he's consistent in what he does best, I think we should put him in potential to be world class a year from now.
Yeah, I feel like everything I wanted to say, you've literally just said. I absolutely wanted to put him in decent, and I don't really feel like we can put him in world class just yet, because obviously it's only potentially be world class, because obviously it's only his first season, and anything can go wrong, as we've seen with a lot of players in the second continuing season. And even in this list, the people we're putting in, we might not even see them in the decent tier next season. We might have to put them in shit. So like, you can never know what happens in the next season. But yeah, he's been absolutely great for Chelsea, and he's been a goal scorer, and I'm pretty sure he's saved their asses a lot of the time. So yeah, just like I said, everything I wanted to say, you literally just said in your sentence. So yeah, absolutely, I'd put him in decent as well. We have a lot of players in decent.
Frank Lampard loves his attitude and also tries to find room for him in the first team. I mean, he's had a decent first season in the Premier League, and he was amazing in the Championship last season. There's always room for improvement, though. I think, in my opinion, he had a little bit of a dry spell in the middle of the season. I mean, he had things. He was great at the beginning, and towards the end, he was great once again. But in the middle, I think he had a bit of a dry spell. And yeah, I think he should be indecent for now. Wouldn't call him potential to be world class just yet.
So next up we have James Maddison from Leicester City, and in my opinion, he's been a very decent player for Leicester, and I feel like he needs to up his game a bit to join, and also maybe join a bigger club to be considered world class, or maybe in the tier of potential to be world class. But right now, I would put him in the upper half of decent. What do you think?
Oh yeah, for sure. I really liked him at the start of the season. He was really like banging goals and assists for Leicester when Leicester were on their amazing form, when they were second or third in the league. At the very start, when they had that 9-1 win, I'm guessing, or 9-0 win over Southampton. So yeah, at that time he was an absolute baller of a player. He was absolutely going crazy with his skills, and I really liked him then. But then again, just like Yaya said for like 5 minutes ago, he had a very dry spell at the end of the season. He wasn't even playing at the end of the season for Leicester. Maybe it was an injury. I'm not sure about. I'm not sure about it yet. But Yeah, and even yet, Manchester United, we're really looking for James Maddison. As obviously you guys know, he's been a Man U fan since his childhood. So I would love to see him, but again, he has to get his form back if he really wants to be considered potentially world class. Just like Musa said, and obviously he has to join a bigger club, so that his potential can really be shown. So yeah, I'd put him in the top five or top three of decent.
He was great last season when he joined Leicester on a new, and at the early stages of this season, he was great as well. And like Ugas said, towards the end, his form kind of died off, and also the rumors of him joining United also kind of died off with his form. And yeah, I don't know what happened to him towards the end, but I would have said if he continued his form, I would have put him in potential to be world class. But because of how things were at the end, I'd put him in decent.
So now we have a player who's probably the only guy to be even considered world class in this list, in my opinion. And I would love to put him in world class, and that guy is James Henderson. Of course, you guys as United fans might think that he's overrated, especially after
Bro, you're tripping, bro.
I,
You're
I,
tripping, bro. You're big tripping.
I personally,
You're
I
tripping.
think he's absolutely phenomenal. I think he's a great leader, and as I said, some people may think that he's overrated, but he's worth the hype. He's led his side to the Champions League and now the Premier League as well. So for me, the second best midfielder in the league, after Kevin De Bruyne, of course. And for me, he doesn't deserve to be up there with Jack Grealish and Declan Rice. I think he's absolutely world class.
Whatever, man. Yeah, sure, I guess. You can add him. I don't really care about this guy. I hate the prick anyway. I don't even want to see the prick ever in my life. But yeah, if you say so, man. I mean, his accomplishments speak for himself. He joined Liverpool very early, I think in 2012 or 2013, if I'm not wrong. Please, obviously, correct me if I'm right. But yeah, after that, he really has led his team to massive
I
wins
mean, he's a club
and
legend
obviously
already.
two trophies as well.
He's already a club legend.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He is a club legend, obviously, and he's won a Champions League with the club. So you can't really, while being captain, so you can't really take away anything from him. So yeah, I guess I have to agree with you going into world class. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, for me, it's a bit of a dilemma because I wouldn't really want to put him in world class. But the tier below it, why would we put Jordan Henderson in potential to be world class? It's not as if he's some young English midfielder with his prime yet to come. And obviously, we can't put him in the tier below, which is decent. This is a very hard situation. I mean, obviously, you guys can go with what you want. If I was controlling this, I would make a new tier under world class and say and call it amazing, but it's Jordan Henderson, and just put Jordan Henderson in there just because he's Jordan Henderson. We can't put him in world class.
True, man. I agree with you.
But go with what you guys think should happen. You can put him in world class if you want.
Okay, so next,
What do you say,
I
Musa?
mean, I already have put him in world class, but okay.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Next up, we have another potential candidate for the top spot, who's Jesse Lingard.
I knew you were
Oh,
gonna say
bro,
that.
bro, he is world class. Bro, if you put him, no, 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 yo, 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 yo. Can we make a tier called Jesse Lingard, and can we put him in Jesse Lingard?
Yeah, just make it above world class.
Yeah,
Make the
yeah,
tier
yeah,
above
yeah,
world
yeah.
class.
100%, 100%. No, 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 bro. Oh, easy,
I'll
easy.
do
Please, please, do it for the boys. Do it for the bante. Do it for the boys.
that. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay, good enough, good enough. I was waiting for him to come. I was waiting for him to pop up.
Yeah, I mean he pops up every now and then. Sometimes
Yeah,
disappears for a good few years, but
There we have it. He's in the top tier right now, and
amazing. We love to see it. We love to see it, bro. We love to see it. We love to. Oh, wait, oh, by the way, where's Pogba? You haven't said Pogba yet. I'm really interested in
yeah,
where
he's a
Paul
great he's a
Pogba is.
great English player, isn't he? He's a great English
yeah,
player.
he's a
Oh, no, but I thought no, 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 no. Wait. Aren't we talking about Prem players?
Not just English midfielders who gonna
Oh,
make in the
God
Euro
damn it.
squad.
Oh, keep that in. Keep that in. Yeah, keep that in.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's going in. So, I mean, next up we have this is actually the last midfielder we have in this list, and that guy is Phil Foden from Manchester City, of course. I also agree with some people who say that he's overrated right now. and I think he is overrated. But I think
Mm-hmm.
if he replaces David Silva successfully and he performs consistently in the next season, I think he has the potential to be world class. And I think in the next season we'll see that Pep Guardiola will make him a starter for City. In my opinion, I think that he's gonna step up to the occasion. So I think he has the potential to be world class right now.
Mm, absolutely, I agree with that. And he's obviously going to start for England as well in the Euros. I feel like he's going to get robbed if he doesn't. So he should be their best option. And even after, he's way better than midfielders like Gundogan for City. So he should start in City as well. Yeah, he's definitely a second or third best in City. After Kevin De Bruyne, obviously, no one is beating that guy. So yeah, he definitely should be added into the Euro squad for England as well. And yeah, he is potential to be world class.
Yeah, in my opinion, he's in great hands. You could not have picked a better manager to be under at such a young age. Pep Guardiola will make this guy a star, and yeah, he's proven to be a very great player. I mean, now he's finally getting his chances at Manchester City, and yeah, I think he has potential to be world class, especially because of the fact that he's being managed by Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, we know Pep Guardiola builds absolutely amazing players. I mean, can't say the same for Manchester City. I mean, they just use their oil money to buy players. They've never made a player in their life. So, but Pep Guardiola really does build players. You guys like it or not, I have to say it. Even at Barcelona, he really changed the style of play. For the whole club when he was there, and even for Manchester City, he transformed everything. After what was their manager called before? I don't give a shit anyway. So who gives a shit? So yeah, he really has made him a talent, and yeah, he's definitely potentially world class. What are you gonna put him in?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you guys. I think he has the potential to be world class, but if we put him in the tier of potential to be world class, I think we have to read where we put Saka because right now he's in the decent tier, up there with Chamberlain and Dele Alli and of course James Milner. So I think we have to put Saka a tier above decent. What do you guys think?
No, but it was his first season though, and he hasn't really like I don't know, man. What do you? I don't know. I'm not sure.
He's
I'm
he's
not sure just yet.
he's only 18 and he's the assist leader for Arsenal. I think he has the potential to be world class.
To be honest, I think I'm going to agree with Musa on this one. His age and the numbers that he's scoring and assisting, that says a lot. So yeah, I'm going to go with potential to be world class for Saka.
Fine. If I mean, obviously, I can't really overturn a 2v1. So yeah, fine. You guys can put him. I agree as well.
I mean, the list is kind of fucked right now because James Madison is a tier he's a tier below Saka and Foden. So and then there's Mason Mount in
Yeah, but James Madison. No, 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 no. But James Madison's form declined heavily, so he's done that to himself.
and according to this
So you can't really say
according
anything.
to this list, Phil Foden is better than Dele Alli.
He is though, is he not?
No, no, but the thing is, though, these players that are in potential to be world class, it's not necessary that they may be better than the players in decent. It's just because of their age that we're putting them in that tier. Obviously, Deli Ali might be a better player than Phil Foden as a whole, but we can't put Deli Ali in potential to be world class because I think he's supposed to be in his prime right now, 24.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's kind of sad we couldn't put more players in the shit tier. I mean, it's sad to see only Jack Wilshere there. I was looking forward to put Jesse Lingard in there, but okay.
Nah, man, Jesse Lingard is like a club legend. How can you not put him in his own tier, bro? He has to have his own tier. What are you talking about? That's just like Lord Bentner having his own tier. You can't put him with other people. No, he has to have his own tier. Right, boys, there was our tier list for the best English midfielders in the Prem at the moment. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Give us your hot take on it. What do you guys think? If is there anything you guys want us to change? And yeah, please share with us what other tier lists you guys want us to do. We're absolutely open to all suggestions, And yeah, thank you guys again for watching. And yeah, please like and subscribe to support us. More videos are coming, inshallah, on the way. You guys just wait and see. We're gonna pump out content for you guys, inshallah. Okay, there we go, guys. Allah Hafiz.